So today Oliver and Oleg will review number of shoes for you. So these will be Vibram 5 Fingers, Altra, Paradigm, Newtons and Merrill. Each of them we ran at least 100 miles. So that's like 160 kilometers. Today we are going to review the Altra Paradigm shoe. It is one of the most amazing shoes we have run in.
Absolutely.
In fact, it's the shoe in which we run all our long distances. There's no better shoe than the Altra Paradigm for running the long distances for us, at least.
And we talk about more than a marathon.
Yes. So let's talk first about the architecture. Well, the Altra shoes are known for two things. Number one, zero drop. So zero drop means that the stack height of the heel is identical to the stack height of the forefoot. What that does is it allows you to have a very good mid-foot forefoot strike. I mean, usually when you run the ultra distances you're not running very fast, so you're hitting the mid-foot section. And that's what you want. You don't want to land on the heel first, because that's going to cause some injuries. Now you see, it is in the midfoot section where you have the rubber. That means that really here you have all the abrasion resistance you need in order to run the long distances. The grip of the sole is very good too. You can also run trails. Mm-hmm. It's really having a good ground grip due to the grooves that you have here.
And the fact that it's got only this part that has rubber, and this, as you can see, it has just the foam. It's quite light.
Yes, it's quite a light shoe.
Exactly. So if it's not ultra light, but it's still very light for this size.
Absolutely. It's probably lighter than most of the running shoes.
Exactly.
And for the fact that you get so much cushioning, it looks fat and thick and heavy. It's not. It's not at all. Now this is number one for which Altra is known, namely zero drop. So the other thing Altra is well known for is, see this little sign here? Foot shape. Now,
it's a very wide toe box, yes.
Which allows you, when you run long, automatically your foot gets thicker and bigger, and the toe spreads more and more and more. And this shoe allows you to go through that transition process, and you're not going to rub your toe here or here. You basically run blister free. This is the amazing thing about this wide toe box. Great design.
Yes.
If you compare it, by the way, with Hoka shoes, Hoka shoes have not that much of a wide toe box. They are narrow, and that can, at least for both of us, it causes problems. So we get blisters on the little toe, on the big toe, on the side, on the edges, because that's where they start rubbing.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that is especially interesting and not maybe extremely comfortable that we would want to mention is just this little line, and maybe is just, as you can see, it's not extremely high.
Yes.
So it's a little lower. It looks to me, at least. And it feels to me.
And it feels. In fact, it really feels. So I'm not sure whether this is a design element of Altra, whether they could just leave that away in the next iteration of the shoe. But the problem with this thing is it pushes the fabric down. You see how this is looking? It's really not much of a stack height here. So it pushes it down. So when you run, your big toe is going to push against this. It's not a big push, but
you can see it, because we ran in these more than 250 miles, and like we would run in them for a distance of 40 miles.
Yeah.
Like in one non-interrupted 40 miles run. And as you can see, like you even see it right here. Do you see?
Yeah.
It's just little
fraying. The fabric is fraying,
and you can see it also on yours.
Yeah.
Right here.
So if you look very close, you probably cannot see it in the camera, but there's some little fraying, not much, but some.
But some, yeah. So you can see, like this is where the toe was constantly pushing.
Yeah, and that caused both of our toes actually to get black, and I had to remove
Nail.
my nail. Oleg's probably going to do that also in the next couple of days. So this is an issue. But except that, you get used to that actually when you don't have the nail anymore. It's fine. But you get used to it. The rest of the shoe is just running on clouds.
Yes.
This is our most favorite shoes, and we tried all kinds of Hokas because they have similar cushioned ride. But this is the shoe to go. So if you're interested, this is definitely something. Let's talk about quality.
Yeah, I think overall quality is exceptional, because what I do like the fact that the rubber is very well. Like look at this. Like we've ran more than probably like about 300 miles by this time, but it's holds up very well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So what you see, both of our shoes actually have more abrasion on the left shoe. You see this one? The reason why you have more abrasion here is because we usually run on the left side of the road, and so that's where the road, has this little downhill, and that's where you have more abrasion. But the fact that we ran 250, 300 miles on them, and they're still looking like this, tells you this is high quality. This shoe probably goes for an 800-mile distance, at least for the weight that we have.
yeah,
Also, the upper, you see there's no damage here, so there's no fraying of the fabric, nothing gets apart. The glue is really of a high quality, so no parts of the shoe actually.
and they don't smell too bad.
No, mine doesn't, but
Yours does, mine doesn't.
another thing actually, we are going to talk about that in the comfort section, is the fabric is so airy. The mesh is not very tightly woven, so especially when in the hot summer days, the air nicely flows through, and that's great. All right, let's talk about comfort.
So we are talking about Altra Paradigm, and it's a very comfortable shoe. First of all, is the cushioning, because they're quite cushioned, so running on the pavement, such as this one, or on the road, becomes a fun experience, because you're almost running on clouds.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. You run 30, 40, 50 miles, and your feet still feel fine. Of course they're swollen, of course they are enlarged a bit, but the sole of the foot is completely fine.
And it also allows you to do a midfoot or a forefoot strike.
Yes.
So this is really good.
Right, because this is a zero drop shoe, it really allows you to prevent yourself from heel striking.
What is also good about this shoe, it's quite breathable. So when you run in this shoe, even though now it's really hot, it's probably like 82 degrees, 84 degrees, and it's quite breathable.
Yes.
So this is one of the advantages.
The mesh that they use is not very tightly woven, so really the air can breathe in and take the moisture out. Now, there are a couple of issues though that we have with the shoe. In fact, both of us.
Yes.
One issue that we have is that the roof, if you want, the roof of the shoe, that's the fabric that embodies your foot on the top, is actually quite low. So you are touching, depending on what type of nail or what type of toes you have, they tend to touch the upper.
Yes.
And as I showed you in the architecture section, there's this little yellow rim that goes around it, and that actually prevents the fabric to come up. So it's not very flexible. So when you're running for the long distances, you, at least in the beginning, touch the roof constantly, and this little touch led to
the loss of two big toenails.
right.
And my left leg had a toenail. Now it's extremely black, and it will disappear soon. Oliver's toenail disappeared completely.
It disappeared already. I took it off. So actually both. My right toe got black, and I had to take off the nail. My left toe is also blue, blackish, but not that terrible. But it's caused by these shoes.
Yes, exactly. So we have a love-hate relationship with this shoe.
But more love.
More love, yes.
Absolutely more love.
More love, absolutely.
We both ran in all types of Hoka shoes. The cushioning is similar. we like the cushioning of these shoes more because we feel like they bounce back more.
Hookahs drain your energy. It looked to us.
Yeah.
It felt to us.
At least in our
They
comparison.
sucked
Yes.
almost our energy.
Yes, and they're good shoes. No, I mean a lot of ultra runners run in them, but comparing
For
them
us,
to the
yeah.
Ultras, the cushioning is more responsive in the Ultras than the Hokas. But the problem that we have with the Hokas is that the foot box is narrow. So we ran, for example, the Hoka Clifton, I ran the Hoka Stinson, I ran a couple of others, the Mufate, but they all have the same problem. The toe box is narrow, so we are rubbing with the right toe or with the left toe, small toe with the book toe, big toe. So we gave it up and switched to the Ultras, and there the foot box is so wide, so comfortable.
Okay. Even if you need to sacrifice one toenail, but the others are enjoyed.
Exactly, absolutely. And actually you learn how to run, how to move your toes in such a way that it doesn't touch the upper that much. There's one more thing I have a problem with, Oleg doesn't, and that is my little right toe is getting bruised after long runs. And the issue is that the footbed seems to be a little bit like this. So when my right toe is landing, it's actually lifted up a bit and has to push through more than the other toes. And when you do that for 20, 30, 40 miles, you're actually bruising your toe. That's my issue. Oleg doesn't have a problem with that.
Yeah. Oh, Julia's coming.